So we are going to be looking at jQuery today. There's not going to be a lot of jQuery actually in here. It's just going to be one example of what it looks like without jQuery, which is horrific. That's why we never want to do anything without jQuery. I'll tell you that right now. So what we're looking at here is just a simple HTML page. Right here, I don't have anything in this index.js, and in fact, I just have it commented out right now, so I don't get any problems. I won't get any problems the way it is, but I just commented it out so you believe that nothing's happening from this JS file. It's all in here. In here, you can see that I linked up to Bootstrap. So I'm using Bootstrap framework to actually do this page for me. I don't like to do CSS, so I like Bootstrap to do the heavy lifting there. I'm using the latest version, as you can see here. So I put my style tags in here, and I made these three divs within the container. So I'm doing row, 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 and that causes it to take up the entire page. And then also I did an element by which one comes in the order. So first, second, third, so on and so forth. And then up here you can see I gave them color so that they don't look all the same, and then I gave them a margin so that they're just nice and away from each other so they're not so compact. So I'm going to go ahead and, oh, that's why that's doing that. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and collapse this so we can see everything at one time. See that it's collapsed, so I'm going to 12 to 43. So the code is still here. You just hit this button, comes right back up. So nice thing to do in Sublime when you know your code is working for a specific section, you know, you don't want to see it all the time, like this head, for example. You know, I know what's happening. I really don't need to see it. Close it, you know. And then you're less things to look on the page. Just a tip. And once again, I'm doing my convention where I say which div ends. This just helps me to know what div this is connected to, because when you have a lot of divs on the page, it can get very frustrating, and then you say some choice words when you don't know which div lines up with which one, and it takes you a few minutes. So this way I just know that, okay, this one belongs with container, okay, this one belongs with not those. The beauty of copying and pasting, right? Sometimes you forget to edit. So let's just go ahead and change these quickly. See, I'm human. There you go. See, first, second, third. Okay. So I know what's going on here. And then I just put a little P tag in here to say I am the first, I am the second, I am the third. And there you go. And then I put some script tags for some JavaScript. Now JavaScript we've normally been doing in this page. I like that better, so you know where all your JavaScript is. But you can also do it this way. You can put your script tags and then do any JavaScript in here. So notice that I did var and it changed to that color. If I do it outside, nothing happens. So HTML is discovering that, hey, this is JavaScript. So then I'm going to, you know, follow those conventions and change colors. See, in is red and here it's white. So that's just, you know that you're in JavaScript mode when you're in between these script tags. Always put the script tags after the element you want to change. Notice that I put it on the bottom. That way the page completely renders because it's procedural. It's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 all the way through. And if you try to do anything to this div before this is created, you can get some errors. And we'll see that more with jQuery as we go on. So it's always good to put the script tags when you're doing this type of styling at the end, or at least after the element's been created. So here we go. So say I wanted to change this. Now granted, I could have just come back here and changed it here, right? But hey, I'm a JavaScript man. I shouldn't say I hate, but I don't like working with HTML and CSS. I would rather have JavaScript do it for me. If I get in the habit of doing that, then I can create dynamic pages rather than static. And I'll show you more with jQuery as that goes on. So you do var, and I'm just going to set it to first, and equals. Now what I want to do is I want to change this, right? So I want to grab this. I want to say to the computer, okay, I want to change this, but I need to tell the computer, hey, this is the one I need to change. The computer doesn't, you can't just say, hey, the first div inside container. You have to be specific, and that's why we put IDs. IDs are generally, or I shouldn't say, no, not generally, always unique. Notice that they don't ever correspond and class does. So IDs are always specific to that element. So we're going to do, and see that right there? This is a wonderful Sublime plugin called JavaScript and Node.js, and it's going to do that for me. So I do document, and document is just a fancy way of saying all of this. Everything from HTML to HTML, everything in here, right here is document. So it's going to scan the entire document, and it's going to get the element by ID. Notice the ID, so that's a clue right there. I'm going to get the ID. So I want to change first, right? So I'm coming over here, I'm hitting first. And in fact, what we can do just to see what's happening here is console log first. Let's see what actually happens. Notice what I've what I've get back. Line 73, so our console log, I've got this whole div back. So literally first holds this entire div as a variable. So that means I can use this other function or method, I don't know what specifically it's called, but it does something, called inner HTML. And I set that equal to whatever I want to change. And remember, we're learning something, so we're going to do hello world, because we're learning to say hello to the world in another programming language. So what this is saying, hey, in the first, so right here, enter into the inner HTML hello world. So if I reload this, bam, look at that. Changed right away. Now you're thinking, why do you ever want to do this when I can just come over here and type hello world? Well, what happens, say, hypothetically, if we had a button in this div, and when you click on it, it changes this to hello world? You can't just say, oh, the person just clicked it, let me go back to my static HTML and change it so they can see it. No, you want this to happen in real time, right? So you want to add logic to say, if this button is clicked, change this to hello world, and we'll see that more at jQuery as we go on. So this is just how you would do it without jQuery. So we're going to come back and look at how this actually works without, or with jQuery, I'm sorry. So this is what we call vanilla JavaScript. So we're going to come back and look at jQuery in action. All right, thank you.